perceive. Fill my consciousness, let me receive. Open perception, let me give my love to you, oh will you please? Music, my love, make me perceive. Fill my consciousness, let me receive.
Ich studiere eigentlich Landschaftsarchitektur und ich habe als Ausgleich was Kreatives braucht und habe mir dann einfach eine Gitarre gekauft und angefangen, Lieder zu covern und dann habe ich bald selber Lieder geschrieben. Das heißt, ich bin eigentlich total spontan dazugekommen zur Musik und habe das überhaupt nicht geplant. Aber ich habe so das Gefühl, das passt gut zu mir und mir macht es total viel Spaß. Vom Gesang her bin ich sehr von Leanne Havers inspiriert. Heute spiele ich mit der Loopstation. Tash Sultana aus Australien loopt ziemlich toll und ja, das inspiriert mich. Aber generell, ich höre fast jeden Stil von Musik und ja, es gibt sehr viele tolle Musiker.
I wake you in the morning. Look into my eyes. I wonder if you are true to me. I don't need any more lies for a long
time. Es ist mega tricky, also wenn man irgendwas falsch macht, dann ist es wirklich nicht cool. Man ist sicher flexibler ohne Loopstation. Ich habe aber jetzt mehr Möglichkeiten, mich auszudrücken und ich finde es persönlich einfach spannend, da was Neues auszuprobieren.
Time loose ends, closure of draining relations and tests.
Wir haben ein paar Überraschungen. Die für uns schönste Überraschung, wir haben es das erste Mal geschafft, obwohl wir seit Jahren darüber reden, sogenannten Merch zu produzieren. Das heißt, wir haben T-Shirts gemacht, Taschen, für die Mutigen in der knalligen Farbe, wie ich es anhabe, für Weicheier, Romantiker oder Leute mit Geschmack auch in anderen Farben, aber man kann es sich aussuchen.
Like songwriters that are really a unique voice, basically, and so and especially like the Velvet Underground or Bob Dylan, but also like a provocative one, like I call them provocative, but Sonic Youth or this kind of direction. But it's really open. I love Beach House, for example. Yeah, it's really a lot of directions. But yeah, I would say really like when it's something really unique that is not a copy of someone else and it's really coming like straight from the soul, like basically.
Adventures and fun become all mine. Once I was a dreamer, a bold, relentless hunter, wandering for miles and miles in the search for the sublime.
Do you like to tell stories in between the songs? Say something about the song?
No.
Or say something?
No.
A lot of people do that at the festival, you know, like
Okay.
talking a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, we should do that.
Yeah, we should do it.
This is my least favorite life, the one where I'm out of my mind. A kiss holds a million diseases, and a lifetime goes up in smoke. This is my least favorite you.
Ich glaube, wir sind beide erst relativ spät auf Nick Cave eingestiegen, also so wie er jetzt gerade präsentiert wird. Ich komme da eher aus der Post-Punk-Szene, das sind Sachen wie Joy Division und Interpol, mag aber schon immer diesen rustikaleren Sound wie Calexico. Ja.
Ja, bei mir gibt es ja keine dezidierten Vorbilder, komischerweise. Ich habe generell irgendwie die letzten 10 Jahre so gut wie kaum Musik gehört.
Das ist einfach ein düsterer Moment, der einen beschäftigt und dadurch entsteht dann der Song. Aber es bleibt bei uns nicht düster. Also, wenn wir die Sessions dann zusammen machen und unsere Songs umsetzen, dann haben wir da unglaublich viel Spaß dabei. Und ich glaube, das ist einfach in unserem Namen auch schon so drin, eben dieses Downers and Milk. Es sind nicht nur Downer, sondern es ist einfach irgendwie ein Spaß dabei. Und ich würde uns da nicht auf das Düstere reduzieren wollen.
Supposed to live, walk to walk, and remain in the silence when you talk to talk preciously. No one's fault, and good things are rare if you see them at all in the dark. I'm still wearing my crown.
Dankeschön, wir sind Downers and Milk.
Let's go crazy. Okay.
It's such a fragile instrument, and it depends on where you are, and it always tunes differently. So you have to take good care of it and always check. Like every time before I go on stage, I have to check the tuning, and if it's not tuning, I have to either put water on it or I have to heat it up. So So it's a very living thing in a way, and it changes from city to city. So it's a different process every night.
To sing a song for you that I've always loved listening to. And the first time I heard it, it was sung by Billie Holiday, the Queen. And I remember it really touched me. And then later I learned that this song was actually an old Hungarian song from the 30s and, seen as a suicide song. Very depressing.
Sundays gloomy, my hours are slumberless. Dearest, the shadows I live without numberless. Little white flowers will never awaken you, not when the black coat of sorrow has taken you. Angels have no thought of ever returning you. Would they be angry if I thought of joining you? Sunday.
And thank you to this wonderful festival for inviting me. It's an honor!
I think that the festivals like this, they are born from passion, from passionate people who believe in something and they just want to create something without getting anything in return. And that's how it starts. And that's such a powerful thing, I think, for a festival. And for anything, when things start from that sort of passion. And in order to keep it alive, well, I think that both musicians and people will take care of that, supporting it. And you can see that there are, like today, we've been taken so good care of here, and there's so amazing people working here, probably many of them volunteers.
This tour has been very special for me because I've been having my sister along on these travels, and it's been amazing.
Seven moonlit tears I cried. Tides collided in my eyes.
So we are from Canada. That's where we come from. It's a little country just north of America. Life is unbelievable. Life is indescribable. Life, I'm crying 'cause I'm happy. Happy to be with you. a time when I had no one.
I've been doing that since the age of 16, and so it's almost like eating or cooking for me. In fact, I consider it about the same. It takes about the same kind of energy to cook a meal. When I write a song, it's just the same. Sometimes it's like, oh, I've got to go write a song. The same way I've got to cook my dinner. That's how it feels.
Apricot, apricot, me and my old apricot never part, or I just.
I can be anxious, I guess, but I'm anxious just sometimes just going to get some milk, you know, just, it depends. Sometimes I'm comfortable, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes it's lovely to be surrounded by people listening to your music. Sometimes it feels claustrophobic. It's all, you never know how you're going to feel.
Hey, I got news for you. Straight from the eagle's mouth. Soul is about to bloom. Serpent is stretching out.
Canadian songs tend to sound more withdrawn. There's more space in the music, less frenzied, and yeah.
Weird woman, why did you destroy Paula? You've got to help me. I don't want a doctor. I know these educated wolves. Thank you for having us.
We are Son of Fortune from the Faroe Islands, and you are fucking beautiful. You look amazing. Are you having a good time? Beautiful. We're gonna play a couple of new songs, some in English and some older ones in Faroese, our native language. Nu sagt likna ett brott I år. I halde ikke to merkelig. Etta en kvervesjån. En lakka jenta vi sletje vel. Dolnandan lid vi väntar. I halde ikke to merkelig. Nu sagt likna ett brott I år.
The summer is really crazy. Everyone, I would say that everyone in the Faroes is manic depressive almost, because in the wintertime you're indoors trying to pass time and to keep sane. A good way to keep sane is doing music or writing poetry or lyrics or stories and painting and playing music. So it's definitely a thing that keeps the Faroe Islanders sane. And then in the summertime, everyone goes crazy and jumps into the water and parties and summer festivals and all of that. So.
This is not my time to shine. No, this is where I stay in line. I don't know
I don't know. Won't make a mother leave her kids, even if they are wrong, and segregate the world.
I don't know, just do what you do, follow your heart. I mean, you can always tell people a lot of stupid advice, and I mean, it's so different how people are as human beings and what they react to. I mean, I've gotten a lot of advice that maybe has popped up like 10 years after. Oh, I remember Taito, or I remember Eivør talking about this, and now it makes sense. But when I heard it, it was like, fuck that, I'm not into that. So I don't know, just do what you love. That's the most important. Yeah, and have fun. And make money. And go to school.
Skål. I feel one with the universe. I raise my hands and in a heartbeat, Mass looks like Jesus nailed to the cross. They listen, they hear me, they follow my lead. What the fuck? Forgive me as you teach me to forgive. Hope, I was searching for it, found variations of it. Most of the time I was lost. Hope, is it essential? I know that people live a whole life without it. Hope, is it essential?
Straight away, this building feels, that everything will be okay. It feels really warm and welcoming, and it's the kind of, even the size of it, that's my favourite kind of room to be part of.
The way we were, the way we are, all of my heart.
I feel like it's the only way I can make it, and I think it's the kind of music that I respond to. But I also love big noise, and I wish that I wrote music people could dance to instead of maybe making them cry. It's a very strange thing, but it seems to be the only way I can do it. But I like the feeling of affecting people. I think that's a really lovely thing, and I feel really lucky that I seem to be able to sometimes. I still don't feel like I'm really getting very much attention, and I think if I actually thought that, I probably would feel strange. But it feels just really nice that people are interested or want to buy your records or want to know how you feel about things. So, before I would think that people were looking at me because I look odd, and now I'm like, oh, maybe they just recognise me. So it's given me a tiny moment of, oh, maybe it's just a nice thing, yeah.
Late-born boy in sweetness laid, and worry not by blood or blade. Salt will find the faithless soul.
My favourite part of this job is getting to see other people play and meet other people who are doing it. Yeah, it's just a total treat.
It's real. It's everything. I know. So, and you know Marchant.
Just a bastard kid. You got no name. When you're living with me, running the same. Though they don't show the scars, they're so old. Brother, when they go, they let you know.
It's my favorite venue in Vienna. It has everything. It's even a little cozy. I like the different layers, subterranean. I like the red chairs. I love the pianos. But, I mean, there's a Bosendorf right there. That's a Bosendorf.
A desperate man. He was a desperate man.
Well, you know, I think I mentioned it every time I'm here. Is my roots are from Austria. My grandfather's from Austria, and I always wondered, like, his name was Harry, and I never understood if that was his full name, because normally in the States you would be called Harold, and then Harry would be short for Harold, but on all his paperwork it says Harry. So tonight at the Kleines Cafe, our bartender's name is Harry.
Clock is wound too tight. He need to fight. Feeling control of his destiny.
Maybe they've all been about Harry. I think he's just in me. I am him.
Reptilian. I know it ain't fair. My feet don't want to walk, and I can't find the stairs. Turn down your lamp. I'll turn up my amp.
Getting together collectively for music. It gets us through the bad times. It becomes a good soundtrack. That's why the blues are the blues. They choose to celebrate instead of just self-pity yourself, right? So yeah, Klaus, nice going. Here's to you, Klaus. 15 Jahren with the Bluebird. Fantastic. Glad to be a part of it. And with this Burgenland wine, I think this is the Zweigelt, which is where my grandfather came from, Burgenland.
Should have turned around. I know that I will be better someday. Turn around. I should have turned around. There was something inside that made me wanna hide. I'll be free someday. I know I will.
This memory I have from when I was like 18 years old in London. I was on a trip with my mom, and I was a fiend for jazz, and I would bring my trumpet with me everywhere. And I'd go to these jazz clubs, And at the end of the night, I was drunk, just by myself, sitting on a curb on some side street, just because like I like to drink just on the street, like back in the day. And there was this tree right in front of me, and there was a bird singing, and it was like 1 a.m, and the bird was singing the most beautiful thing. And it was like a spiritual moment. I was like, oh my God, like what is that? What's happening? And I like was like trying to like write it in lines, like on a notebook and stuff. Like I was totally just out there. But I had this like spiritual thing with this bird in a tree many years ago. That's what comes to mind.
I released my debut record in May. It's called Practice Magic and Seek Professional Help When Necessary. And I just discovered via Instagram today that someone last week got a tattoo of that on their leg. I'm not saying you should do that, but it's not a bad idea. The second you have it, you lose it, you want to forget it. I said you're a friend of mine. You want to forget it, but you never let it ride. It's all automatic, percentage organic, mechanical, way we're designed. The harder I try, the harder I try, the more that I want to die. There's a picture of you in my head, won't go away.
I remember this thing, like reading this thing about Schopenhauer, talking about that music is the direct representation of the will. Like music occupies space-time, you know, in the same space as us, the vibration.
But damn it, there's someone who needs you. Someone still needs you.
I'm interested in communicating. I want to communicate with you. I want to reach you, you know? And I want to learn about you and have you influence me. There's something far beyond any one individual when there's a dialogue. But yeah, you know, relationships that fail, wars, everything these are miscommunications.
You guys keep singing it. I used to have this fantasy that you and I were two petals of the same flower, photosynthesizing underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. And when it rained, we would fold in towards one another and kiss. And there was a double rainbow, and children danced all around us with ice cream cones and red balloons and lots of puppies. Juliet, I'm just glad we met.
Bluebird, what else would come to my mind? I don't know. I'm trying to think about how else I could. That's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about Bluebird. But I mean, otherwise, there was a pie that used to be made at a bakery in Atlanta where I was from. That was called the Bluebird pie. These are the things that come to my mind. Walking home, cirque and cloud, knowing what you want with your head, points to the sky, mellow houses sway in your backyard. Country music has a stigma behind it. I think it's a form of folk music. It comes from that kind of thing, and generally, I think that it's listened to people in a certain geography. You know, it's based on location, and a lot of people listen to that music in the South in America. Whereas I think there are really beautiful tones and sounds that happen inside of country music that could be appreciated around the world. It's a real pleasure being here with you guys tonight. It's my first time ever in Austria or Vienna. Thanks for treating us so nicely and coming out to see us. It's such a huge crowd. It's wonderful. I am a secret. You can't deny. 100 times, and we slow down. How long must I belong to this? I want to sing about myself as much as possible. Sometimes it's hard to that vulnerability and honesty is something that can be difficult to really get across sometimes, you know, you don't want to always. The songs are in general about my life and with my wife, and my wife and I write the music together actually. I'll generally come up with these topics and ideas and I'll write a few lines, and she's a much better writer, a much smarter person in general than I am, so she can kind of expand on my ideas and make them a bit more poetic and interesting. Missing the floor you can't believe, missing a life that's loud. I've tried to learn the last side of your sweet sound. No, I can't remember you in this life. The hat is part of me, I guess. Yeah, I think it's good. I don't know. I would like to get a different color hat one day, but I haven't found one that I like as much. You don't have to say you love me, you just be close. You don't have to stay forever. I will understand. Believe me, oh, believe me, yes, I say you don't have to say you love me, just be close at hand. You don't have to stay forever, I will understand, believe me.
Thought you had opened your heart to me. Every light shone, I was mistaken. And don't these friends fall out? Ain't they leaves on the ground, lit in a place for you?
I think if great art is entertaining, that's great. I like entertainment. I think entertainment should be a byproduct of something good. I think if it's entertaining, that's great. If there's a focus for something to be entertaining, there's often the chance that it's going to be disingenuous. A lot of people try to lead with that goal, and I think leading with the goal is usually not a good way to approach a creative process.
Are you strange? Sounds in the voices that come from the clowns who dressed up as snakes to fight for their stake in the town.
I'm assuming a lot of people here speak English. If I spoke German, I would be very proud to speak it to you, but I don't speak it well, so I'll speak to you in English. And just to thank you so much for coming. This is my first time playing in Vienna. I grew up in Canada, but my mom is Swiss, and she immigrated from Switzerland in her 20s, so she was still very much European in her traditions, and even in the way she speaks. And then my father was English-Canadian, but not very nationalistic. And so I've never felt this real sense of national pride in any way. Just an appreciation and admiration for different aspects of different cultures. But I don't feel that deeply. I guess I just feel most comfortable in places that are open-minded.
Before I know it, you're coming after me. Before I know it, you're coming after me.
I don't write songs every day. I don't write poetry every day. Often go many years without writing lyrics at all. I play on a regular basis, but even then, sometimes I lose the romance for playing or the appetite for it. And I just usually hope that it comes back because I know I get a lot out of it.
In the passing days, before the blood dried, there was all this will. You can share a picture and show how much you care.
Melancholy bird. That's, yeah, I feel like that's a fitting way to describe myself, probably. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Owen Pallett. I'm 40 years old. Thank you for having me. As a gay man, I can just make work and have it exist. And it's not specifically designed for a gay audience or a straight audience or any sort of audience. It just exists as the work of a gay person. And to me, I find that liberating. My music is naturally shot through with all sorts of versions of queerness and gayness and, and my politics. I think it just comes out naturally just in the way that what is created. You can write, I've always even said, you can tell more about a band's politics by the way that the snare drum sounds than you can about the words coming out of their mouth. I'm dedicating this next song to Klaus. Thank you for having me here at Bluebird. You're welcome, Klaus. Then I thought I saw a totem mounted on my northern bedroom wall. It sparked and lit the walls of my home. My record has been done for a couple of years, but it kept being pushed back because I've been having mental health issues. Specifically, I've been having suicidal depression. I'm doing much better now, and now the reason why it hasn't been coming out is just we're working stuff out administratively with the label. I've been better since this summer. Been in therapy and taking medication and kind of dealing with the issues. They were mostly as a result of outside sources rather than internal. But yeah, I'm doing much better these days. So it's not that I didn't want to play shows or anything, it was just that I wasn't able really to leave my home.
But I will live forever, of this I am sure. Bury my lovers, I am the cure. My body is wider and stronger than collapsing buildings. And I will see the graves, I will see the graves of your children.
And I was doing a lot of work. I was doing scoring work and production work and film work and chamber music. Like, I was productive. I didn't feel comfortable, not being around my friends and my family and my dog and, my sources of security.
Boys run like water from the barrel to the trough. They'll never stop their running, gunning for their brothers. This house is a hostel, it is peaceful, but it's always emptying. Boys all want to be someone.
You write, regardless of whether it's set in a fictional environment, is coming from your own personal experience. I have tried to write songs that come from a very specifically autobiographical perspective, And I actually found that they were more false than the stories that I wrote that were fictional. When you're writing fictional songs, you can really represent yourself well because they don't need to be accurate, you know? But when you're writing songs that are supposed to be about something that's happened to you, things get altered, things get changed because you have to make it accurate, you know? And in a way, and you also have to make it poetic and musical.